Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah to all. And Jazakumullah khair for giving me this chance to talk about very, very important and actually not a topic but an issue for the contemporary situations. Because in this colorful time period, what we have a very important and very challenging task, that how to give the righteous understanding of our religion towards especially our kids. Fortunately, we being a parent, we actually want to that our kids must have the true spirit of religion Islam. And the basic challenge our kids usually face, that they are very confused about physical sciences and metaphysical sciences. Let me give you only a precise difference between physical sciences and metaphysical sciences. Basically, whatever we are dealing with or what we are around us, that's all physical sciences. And it's very easy to interact with the physical sciences because that's all based on five senses. And even nowadays, usually the toddlers and all the kids, they are actually having all the ages. They usually address with the physical sciences, like even our activities based learning. This is a slogan usually we have in our education system. So all the activities based on the five senses. But when we talk about the religion, so religion caters mainly two phenomena. The one is belief system and the one is the dealing system. Means one is actually based on theological perspective. Theology means like the sciences about God, sciences about angels, sciences about hereafter. So when I am taking the word here science, it means the knowledge. Okay, and the knowledge about all metaphysical sciences is very important to build actually a character of an individual, so that he has all the essentials of the metaphysical sciences and he can behave in the society. Simple is that. When we have, okay, just stuck on please total time development this slide. Mm, okay, dear
Should I move
dedicated
forward?
no, when I'll
Okay.
say inshallah you will forward.
Okay. All
Jazakumullah
right.
for assistance, please. All right. So I'm sure you got the difference between that. We are all around the physical sciences, but we are now today, inshallah, we will learn that how in this world of physical sciences, we can enhance the metaphysical sciences approach. And what is the metaphysical sciences approach? That what is God? Where is God? Because and how's the angels? Because normally we used to listen such words and such actually the principles that angels are here to protect us, God is here to watch us, shaitan is here to trace us. So where are these? Actually they exist or not? If they are existing, so why we are not actually seeing them, right? So these are all the basic very small mind questions what we actually catered. And not only the kids, if we just go back to our like the small brains, when we were in the age of 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. So a smart brain usually think about that who is the god, where is the god. So that is actually the importance for this subject. Now let's talk about that How? Because that how and what are the stages of the kids when the kid absorb and can listen and can understand the specific questions. Like if I start to inculcate the understanding of God at the age of 3, so how, what is the way, right? And when the kid is at the age of like 5 to 7, so how can I give the righteous way to understand the metaphysical sciences? Because we all believe in that. If some first only for some time we believe in that there is a God, so it means that our character, our dealing is will be entirely changed. Don't you think? Yeah, it is so, right? So only for the understanding and only for the capturing the understanding that yes, God exists, are all dealings, all phenomena, all like the issues, how to solve the problem is entirely changed. So let's start with the precise understanding of the child's psychology. I will I will actually share some age patterns with the ability of the understanding, and then inshallah I will share the activities. I will share different statements that how can you cater on, and it will be really appreciable when you will ask at the end different questions according to and relevant to. So next please. All right. Basically, the kids are around the different, you can see here, the brain here, the visual power here, languages here, different motor skills here, physical movement, emotions, releases, they're all actually around it. Like, and remember always that religion actually give a frame or give a glasses to cater all the other issues, not only the adults but the kids as well. Next please. Interestingly, our law is also actually emphasized that every child not only has the right of protection, not only the physical protection or mental protection, but also the spiritual protection as well. All right. And nowadays we do not deny that the spirit is like our the consciousness. Normally in psychology language we used to say this, the consciousness is there, zamir ki awaz we used to say. So we cannot deny this, that there is some voice what actually we used to listen from inner side, and might be, and usually and oftenly it differs from the outer sound. So it means that there is a right of a child to give perfect and educatable for the all the development. Next, please. Usually, cultural hindrance towards the beliefs. Usually, as as actually I stated before that we usually emphasize the physical sciences. Let me give you example. Even our kids used to refer to those subjects, used to refer to those sciences who are actually based on the five senses. And you in if I talk about the Pakistan, so the subject specialization in the metaphysical sciences usually the people used to get the image that the less logical people or the less intellectual people, they used to adopt such subjects which caters the metaphysical sciences. So on the whole we actually emphasize that this is less important. The important is that the glass which is in front of me, so what is the structure of the glass, how it is made, right? How can I make this glass more educatable, more sophisticated? Whatever in the glass, it's not the debatable. All right. So that is actually the whole phenomena all around us. Next, please. Now, this is all about the issues all around us. Now we'll talk about, very interestingly, different stages of a child. and you will be astonished that how the kids actually absorb the belief system. Next, please. So we'll talk about somehow development psychology in building belief system. Next. Just okay. Uh, there is a two actually phenomena which build up my personality, which build our personality regarding our belief system. The one is nature, the other one is nurture. Nature is actually based on genetically, you can say the progression of a belief system means what? And this is actually this is actually happened. Like if my parents are more spiritual, so their effect must be on my kids, right? So genetically it affects. So naturally, and biologically and genetically, we are more spiritual or we are less spiritual. Let me give you an example, right? Because you're all dedicated parents. Let me give one example only. It's very logical example. Whenever we used to offer prayer, we used to say, Rabbi ja'alni muqima as-salati wa min zurriyati. So interestingly, that is the very first initiate what we actually do 5 times a day, that I want that my kid will offer prayer, or my kid will actually give the attendance towards our Lord, right? For 5 times. So consciously and unconsciously, we used to say this dua, and duas are usually accepted, because whenever we say it has effects. It has electromagnetic effects on all around us. So this is only one example, right? And if this dua made by my grandparents or great grandparents, it means it's all usually effects. Okay, so this is a natural effect of the belief system to my kid. So what does it mean? It means that not only my tongue, my subconscious effect, and my you can the generation effects, it actually affected um, the subconsciously to my kid. What is nurture? Nurture is that what is in my hand. Obviously this is not in my hand, but actually my grandparents did, right? What is in my hand? That I can work on nurture of my kid. Okay. And what is nurture? Nurture start from the very first open site when the kid comes in this world. Next, please. All right. So let's start from the very first stage, which is the sensory motor stage. It's actually from the birth to 2 years of the age. Next, please. Actually I won't here the give the lecture about all these stages. You can even listen, or you can read from the Google, or from any source, even from AI. The basic point is that how can I relate with all these stages with our religion? That is actually the point of focus. And let's start from the 1 to 4 months. Interestingly, when I'm here, when I'm in this world, so I can understand the God with 5 senses. It never be happened that I just had the imagination power without any logical references. Let me give you example. When a child comes in this world, he has all 5 senses. He can listen whatever you're speaking to. He can uh, look at you whatever we are doing, right? He can sense whatever how actually we are the grasping. So whatever we are performing in front of kid, he or she can absorb from the very first day of the birth, right? Even before it in the mother womb, but there is no actually ample time to discuss it. But yes, with the 5 senses, the child can absorb from the nurture. Okay. Right after, like the 5 senses are here from the start. Now, after 4 to 8 months of the age, the child has ability to bring up a change by his action. Okay. So that is actually the demanding. We cannot say that, okay, if Allah ne chaha, so it will happen, right? If Allah, I'm sorry to state such a controversial statement, let me explain. Yes, everything within the business, within actually cater with the biiznillah, but remember always that you have complete free will. You have 100% free will to change a child mind. So how? Because he is in front of you and you are actually the responsible for the nurture. That is the nurture, right? You are his or her nurture. You cannot say, no, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to have this. Okay, fine, let's, like, whatever it will happen, it will happen. But what can I do? Some like parents usually say, okay, I'm trying, but होना तो वही है जो लिख दिया गया है, या होना तो वही है जो इसकी किस्मत में है. So these are some sentences which weakens the logical approach of the free will of a kid. Remember all this. It means that from the start, he will understand that, okay, fine, what will happen, it will happen. Okay, whatever I do, everything is actually at the end according to the wish of Allah. So somehow there is a confusion between. Okay, even let me narrate one example, because fortunately I trained some teachers all over the Pakistani one, and they used to ask the question that a 5 years the kid, he or she can ask the question that कि होना तो वही है जो which is actually written. So whatever I'll do, might be it won't actually have impact or effect, right? So from since like the age of this, from the early age, we used to state such statements. So from the start, he or she will grasp the idea that yes, I cannot change anything. But psychology says what? At 4 to 8 months, you can see the screen, please. At 4 to 8 months of age, your child will learn that she can make things move by banging them and shaking them. Like he can change the world. He can change the world around. He learned, his psychology said he can change everything. He can change everything. All right. Next, please. Now, this is very important. From the 1 year to 1.5 year, यानी 1 से 1.5 साल का बच्चा. This is a very small child. You know what? At that very age, the imagination power is actually strengthened. You can see what actually the out of sight. Not only the 5 years old, he can understand that the God exists by words, but this ability actually started from the age of 1 to 1.5 years old. So in simple example, like he or she can understand the face of the mother, and if someone else will pick the kid, he will cry. So what does it mean? That he want to see, or she want to see his or her mother, not to any nanny or anyone else. So that's what he used to cry. Okay, so what does it mean? The imagination power is built. Okay, now the next, please. I will take only 2 to 3 minutes on every age. Now, look at the balloons. That is the normally the infinite states of the imagination. Like itne colors hain, there are many colors of the imagination, and whatever he can imagine, he can imagine. So who will create his imagination? Nurture. You, parents, society. So the imagination which is started from, which actually the builds from the 1.1 to 1.5 years, we can play with this imagination. Like this is all mind game. You know, mind game? Whatever and whoever and whatsoever we actually want to give the idea to the kid, he or she can build. I still remember this, quite actually hilarious. I still remember when I was almost, I guess, one to two, the class one to two. Normally in our time period, I'm not very old, by the way, but in our time period, usually the class starts from the one. Okay. So from the class start one, I used to recall my memory, and then I can recall that whenever I listen the azan prayer, I imagine that some God is here who is speaking. Like I cannot, because usually in our society, the female kids won't allow to come in the mosque. So I can't imagine even that there is a person who is calling Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar. What does it mean? It means that whatever the imagination I perceive, it's all built by myself. It means what? It means that every parent, especially the mother, because they usually spend all the time, they usually have quite very important and very ample time with the kids. So their responsibility to aware them that this is the voice of a man who is the believer of Allah. Like normally, usually we used to think that it's quite understood. It's quite normal. No, it's not normal. Okay, because you know what? Look at the balloons and look at the infinite approach of the imagination. Okay, so what's the solution here? That we should give the we should actually narrate in front of kid all the minor details of the belief system, that he's not the God who is speaking to Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar. He's a person. Okay. Now, and right after, like after many days, I realized once upon a time when I went to Faisal Masjid in Islamabad, that, oh my God, he's the person, he's not the God. So it's actually hilarious. All right. So usually, many times the kids have their own imagination about the God and the belief system, but the parents do not guide them properly. Okay. Now the next slide, please. So finally, we have learned that from the very start, the kid has the five senses approach. Right after, he has the ability to imagine whatever he thinks. He has the power, and he has the ability to think that he can change everything. Right after, he had the strength in his imagination power. And now, interestingly, when we don't give them the right idea, we don't give them the exact, the righteous idea about God or about metaphysical sciences, he will take a fake idea. That is the statement, right? We never ever say that, you know what? The reality always replace the reality. Reality doesn't mean the truth. Reality is the reality. मतलब हकीकत हमेशा सच नहीं होती, हकीकत फेक भी हो सकती है. So the kids normally, if they do not understand what is the exact form of the God, and the exact actually the presence of the angels and hereafter all the physical sciences, they will take a fake idea. Might be themselves, might be from themselves, might be from the society. So remember always, at the age of 1.5 to 2 years old, he just changed his imagination towards another reality. So our child will begin to use images to stand for objects. Like he wants to, if the mother is not here in front of him, so he will adopt a nanny as a mother, because he tried to replace the things. He actually tries to replace the realities. Even it's a fake. Yani nanny is not a mother. Nanny is a nanny. But he will imagine, he will symbolize, he will replace the mother with the nanny after some time because you gave them this fake view. All right. It doesn't mean that I think you actually capturing all the ideas basic on. We're not debating on that nannies the fine source of to take care of the mother or not, and in many situations they used to have it. But what is actually that the kids has ability to change their imagination power and to replace the reality with another reality in only 2 years. Allah Akbar. Next, please. Now this is very interesting. The last, actually, the sensorimotor stage का जो last है. This is actually a called a mediation. Mediation mean, let me explain it. That this ability creates in the child's brain, right? That what? That the child can think about more than just the object that are around him or her. Not only symbolize the thing, not only the replace the things, but he can avail the other objects which is quite resembles to it, right? So this is actually, he becomes the mediator of himself. I think this is the best statement to understand on. Okay, like if again I will example for this, like if the nanny is not here, right? So he can entertain by a khala or he can entertain by another relationship. Whoever gives the same, not the same, but the somehow, the care and the affection shows at the age of 2 years. So he can survive. Now, at that age, he learned that how to survive with the fake reality. Oh my God. This is an alarming situation. At only 2 years, he has learned. So that's why usually kids, they enjoy with the other, the caretakers, and they used to enjoy with because they learned that how to sustain, how to actually live in a fake reality. What does it mean? It means that nurture can, it means that the development of a brain can entertain them. This is the ability of a mind. Next, please. Okay. Up till now, we just discussed the sensory motor stage. Now, just relate with the religion and belief system. Now, it means what? That up to the 2 years, up to the 2 years, what the activities we can design, that is actually the purpose of this webinar, I guess. That's not only a theory, that actually how it leads to the practical phenomena. Because now you learn that how the brain works. Okay. So, right before the 2 years, what actually the child ability have and how can inculcate the belief system into that we used to present in front of him the voice of the Quran. Okay, because why so? I will take only 2 to 3 minutes to emphasize this reality. You know what? This Quran is actually, what is Quran? This is not a simple language or the message. This is a miracle, right? And miracle means that what we cannot understand, that can affect. What we cannot imagine, the words of Quran can affect. And it's my personal experience. Even, you know what, this is very again this very amused that how a kid of 1.5 years or 2 years or 6 months can understand the Quran. Obviously, yes, he doesn't understand, but the impact of the words actually builds his spiritual growth. Seriously, right? Because you learned up till now that he can absorb the five senses, he can absorb everything from the five senses from the start of the day. Then we learned that anything which is actually changing the his atmosphere, like If someone is hearing the sound of the Quran or a sound of the peaceful sound mean the calm sound, not anger, not anxiety, not harsh. It means that all such the words around him or her can affect his spiritual growth. Okay. And he is observing that how his parents has the emotional intelligence. Like if I have an anger on my husband, for instance, so what I do or what I did in front of my kid, he's observing. Because you learned right now that he can understand that by banging the toy, he can create the sound. So he has learned. And thirdly, he can imagine you when you're not in front of him. So whatever you did, whatever the society, whatever you actually lead them, like jahan bhi aap usko leke ja rahe hain, so he's observing the eyes, the sounds, whatever he is observing, what he is up to, he is actually absorbing. Because why? Because he can think about what is not in front of him. It's all about the imagination power. So right now, what actually we learn that uh, we can create an atmosphere which is quite illogical for some people, that it doesn't affect on him. It doesn't. इसको क्या पता? Like, ये तो छोटा है. अच्छा इसके सामने. I guess you're getting what actually I'm trying to say. That how can he affect on this talk, this debate in front of harsh debate? He or she is being affected, and the debate is over. You're doing something else, but he or she is in the same phase. In the same phase, because the imagination power works. Hope you understand. Okay. So whatever you can create, inshallah, I'll give you some activities for especially for from the 8 to 5 to onwards. Up तक जो हमने बात की, what actually we up till now, we all that we need to rebuild and reshape and review the nurture. We have to work on, right? So that's actually the point is. Now let's start the pre-operational state. Pre-operational start from the 2 to 7. We won't discuss very minute detail from this pre-operational state, but we will discuss what is directly relevant to the brief system. So next, please. Yes. At the very early stage, a child can develop anything he can develop with the usage of symbols. Like if you will like for instance, let me give you example. uh, don't you think that at the 3 years old baby or 3.5 years old baby, he just he just copying you whenever you're praying or whenever you're thinking, whatever you're doing around, right? And whatever you're speaking to, because at that age actually the five senses of the speaking power, it actually builds up. So now this is the time, the dedicated parents, that you have to say what Quran says. You have to inform that what the actual all right. Let me read the question. Very interesting. Fate. I will talk about the belief, especially fate, the free will. At the end of it will take only inshallah, 5 to 7 minutes. Okay, I will talk about. This is the very interesting phenomena. Even let me add something regarding that question. Okay, still right now at that age of almost 32 years, before some years, I got to know that what is the fate. Oh my god, like how many years I was surrounded by such fake thoughts. Again, the reality of my reality is not the real reality but the fake reality. Inshallah, I'll address on this question. My dearest dedicated parents, now this is the time to give the exactly what actually they needed. Let me give you some examples of statements, please. The very first example is that Allah exists not in the above of the sky. Please rephrase the statement. Allah is not above. Allah is everywhere. Where is Allah? Allah upper hai. No, Allah is not upper. Allah is everywhere. That is actually the actually we are giving the fakes or I can say the very very less concentrated statement towards a child, which is quite wrong from the cosmology of religion. Okay, even we still my nephew is was asking a question, is there actually based on that what is the sky, where the seven skies, and now why we I cannot say this see the seven sky, it is mentioned in the hadith and so on. So I how can I see Allah even I see look above? So that is a very first statement. Even at 14 years old, as like a kid, he was not able to understand that Allah is everywhere. Okay, so just rephrase your statements. The one statement is Allah is everywhere. Now, second statement, just related to the, because you know what, at the early age of part of this, he can develop the ability to use symbols. Okay, so he can replace the reality easily. And look at the kid at the slide, bache, that kid parent, sorry. So you can see here that the bowl is not here, but the bowl is here. Can you see here? What does it mean? Bowl is disappeared, but he can see the bowl here. So we used to inculcate such important statements towards the case. Second, angels are existing. Okay, angels are existing. Okay. Now our minute belief is based on only that in our right shoulder there is an angel, in the left shoulder in another angel they are writing something, right? This is all the belief our angels are. The angels amantu billahi wa malaikatihi. We used to like give them this reference without understanding. Now look, how can we inculcate up to 7 years old that angels are here? Let me quote very interesting Imam Shafi'i, and especially not only Imam Shafi'i, but there is in a book Hujjatullah Baliga, right, by Imam Ghazali. Even he mentioned their different, the names of the angels who are around us. You know what? When a kid fell down, there are many angels to protect him. And how the angels come near to that very kid? What is the procedure? What is the criteria? When a mother or father or the beloved person used to offer this dua. What the dua is? The dua is that for instance. I won't quote the complete detail, but it happens. Or when this dua is happened, not only strategies and all the activities to make him safe, but the duas work. And how dua works? The duas actually work in a way that all the angels are gathered to protect him, but we cannot see. So this is the right understanding to give the logical approach that either we cannot see, but they exist. Many things we cannot see, but they exist. You can give them different examples. I will share some activities and that, inshallah, to enhance their imagination power, to build their, to rebuild their, the false reality to the fake reality toward the real reality or the truth reality. So I will share at the end the activities as well. Okay. Now, the angels exist. How the angel exists? That they can protect us. And if we do not offer the prayers, the angels are not here to protect us. Okay. So there's a protection system. There's a protection management created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not only the Kiram and Katibin, not only Israel and Jibril. No, there are many angels for us. Even let me narrate one more hadith here. it's very authentic. It's saying here in hadith that whenever a person is ready to gain the righteous knowledge, so all the angels, and not only the angels, but the creatures of the seas and the creature inside the earth, they started to uh, they started praying for that person, right? Like if I'm ready to give you lecture for to belief system, or if you are listening here, so all the other creators is actually doing the prayer for. This is when I remember when I first read this hadith, that it seems for me it's purely illogical. But when I got the idea of angels, it make this hadith actually it becomes for me purely logical. So that is a belief in angels, that the angels exist and they protect us. But what is the management criteria? Prayers. Okay. So how this is how the prayer works in the form of angel. And there are many other examples. And inshallah, I will share a reading with you if you actually want to. I actually prepared this reading only for this lecture with some activities as well. It will hardly take 5 to 10 minutes to read this, but surely you will get those answer what actually missed uh, during this session actually. Okay, I hope you understand. Now the third very interesting, the metaphysical sciences person is about hereafter. What is hereafter? The hereafter concept is as like that everyone actually needs to go, right? Kullu nafsin za'iqatul maut. That is the ultimate reality to believe in the hereafter. We cannot say that he can stay here long. He cannot actually go like he is always been in the phases of life. No, that is the ultimate reality of this. And for this, you must ask from the questions from the from your kid, that okay fine, you will live, I'm living. So normally we used to scare to ask this question, and usually the mothers, they are very emotional, that no, I cannot, how can I say that I will die and you will be alone, right? So there are different stories um, you can share with. I remember I have even as my background is from some literature, English literature. So I can recall some stories, and I had mentioned the links in the readings, and that a story is about it when his grandmother is has the taste of the death. So how his mother actually give the idea of the hereafter. So you can ask such questions. What will be the after 100 years of the life? I will be here. You will be here. No. Uh, I will be there. No. So where I would be then? So you from the start you can ask such questions. Don't be shy. Don't be reluctant to ask such questions. Okay. I remember that hadith that Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam used to narrate the concept of Jahannam when he met with a friend on his wedding. All right. So he narrates some ayat of Jannah and Jahannam, like the hereafter, what happened after hereafter. So that's very interesting that he was invited to a marriage ceremony, and he narrated some ayat which talks about Jannat and Jahannam Jannat blessings and Jahannam scaredness. So what the link with the marriage ceremony with the hereafter? It seems weird, might be, but this is more important to discuss every day or every or second day, that yes, you have to return towards Allah. So you are here to discuss with the kids. Okay, I have a son of my I have my son of 3.5 years old, and I shared all such stuff with him, obviously. So he knows that when he will die, he will go to Allah, and he has to die. This is the ultimate reality. So you can talk about the death with the life. Next, please. All right. So this is a pre-operation stage that he can present the paper. Next, please. You can read it. I explained. Yeah. This is a very important ability of the pre-operation stage up to 7 years. That at the end of this stage, like when the child is up to 7 years, he understand the concept of conservation. Conservation mean what? Actually, he has ability to overview a situation from the point of view of others, which is the foundation for social skills and emotional intelligence. Means that he can understand what actually you're trying to say. Even he pretend that no, I'm not getting, but he understands. So he has the ability that he can understand what you actually try to give him in the understanding. Like his uh, he can be a social at that time, and he can be an emotional intelligence at that time. All right. And even if you are sometimes you are harsh, right? Sometimes you actually miss the that imagination that Allah is here. What does it mean? That you commit some small guna, right? So you just in front of the kid, you can say that I just missed that imagination. I just forgot sometime that Allah is here and Allah is watching me, and I did so. I scold you, or I did something which is actually not suitable for. So you just justify justify in front of your kids that this is the reason of my less emotional intelligence. All right. Like in all your actions, you don't say no, I was actually emotionally disturbed. No, you can rephrase your sentence. All right, you just try to rephrase. Why so? Because when we talk about the God in every language, and when we talk about the hereafter in our communication, so that actually builds a connection with us. Seriously. All right. And this is quite normal too. We cannot say that it's abnormal to talk about a hereafter all the time, or we can relate every time with this Jannat and Jahannam. This is the task of a Molvi. No, this is our attitude towards from a true spirit of. All right. Okay. That is actually that how you handle this this actually the situation, and he will try. He is actually or she is actually trying to understand. Next, please. Yeah, conservation is rational approach, and you don't say that always that no, it actually Allah like rationally you have to give them believe that if I do this, I will face the same consequences until unless I'll say astaghfar. Okay. Let me give example. I remember before some days, I scolded my the elder son because he's very naughty, and the son and the kids what actually the they used to do. And right after a few seconds, I realized that I did actually wrong. And then I came near to my son and I said that I did wrong, and I am sorry to you, and I'm really sorry to Allah. And because at that time I forgot that Allah is watching me, and I just forgot that what Allah commands me, right? What Allah orders me, and then say what does it mean? Then I explain rationally that if you do something wrong, you will face wrong until unless you will say sorry to that person and sorry to Allah as well. So that is actually rational approach. Okay. Like the kids are very logical. The kids used to ask the question until unless they won't justify, you just start to rationally you just start to give them idea about. Okay. Next, please. Yes, the concrete operation stage here have that they can think logically, they use analogies, they perform, they can understand the reverse action, that they can easily understand that if the 5 plus 9 is the same as 9 5. No, it's a 5 plus 9 is not the same as 9 minus 5. Okay. So that is actually the known as reversibility. Next, please. Next, please. Next. Next. All right. The assimilation and accommodation is mean that they can recall whatever you did with them in the last 7 years or 8 years or 9 years. There are some activities I should highlight here that you can talk to them. uh, you have to come out from your comfort zone, because comfort zone is that you can give them some tablets, or you can sub them, you can give them some gadgets. You have to come out from your comfort zone first of all. That is the first activity. Then you have to talk to them a story time, or you can the imaginary house, that it can be with the activity of colors, it can be verbally. All right. So I think this is more important to build their imagination power to talk verbally, rather to involve some activity in some activities. So you can build an imaginary house, and you can tell them that, okay, fine, what is your ideal imaginary house? What do you need now? So they can recall that I need this, I need that, I need this form of that. And you can say, you can have for instance, a kid will say that I need a bicycle in form of this. I can have this type of doll, whatever, or this type of tablet, right? Or this type of game zone. So you can easily say that whatever you are imagining, you can get at the Jannah. Seriously, you just talk to them. Whatever you are imagining, you can get in the Jannah on some conditions. And what are the conditions? Not it means that you say no, no, you have to offer the prayer. You just start from your from the peace zone, that you just be good. All right, everyone is good. Just be good. Just stay good. Just stay. Just right. In this way, you can have the concept of Jannah, which is metaphysical science. Jigsaw puzzle game, yes. This is a very interesting activity that you can make puzzles, jigsaw puzzle, and you just missed some parts, and you say that you just create your own parts up to your wish. So in this way, they can create some imagination, and they can share their experiences, what they have seen, and what they want to. Happiness game is this is very interesting. Other than this, happiness game is actually a myth. Listen carefully. We just actually have the idea that I want to be happy all the time. It's never been possible. All right. This is a myth. All right. Or might be you just get the happiness while listening some vulgar language or something like that. So what is the happiness game that? What gives you happiness? And what is the exactly happiness is? In the front of Allah, in the front of Prophet. Kindly read some content, uh, explore some genuine happiness factors. Like it will give me happiness if I go to Jannatul Firdaus. Huh? What is Jannatul Firdaus? Like I won't be happy. Sorry, I won't be happy if I would get a Jannah, but it is not a Jannatul Firdaus. It means you are giving the concept of Jannatul Firdaus, that which is a perfect state of Jannah. So that is happiness. It means that happiness not always that, but what they can see. What this is also the happiness which is not visible. This is a happiness game. So give them ideas, and believe me, it will work. Next, please. This is the last concept what actually I am giving you, that very interesting, that cognition power is all based on the mental activities, which is thinking, knowing, and remembering. But I will relate it with three basic words of Quran, which is actually, you know what? This is all Piaget theory, and Piaget theory is actually the child development theory. He mentioned that all mental activities actually associated with these three. Now, next slide, please. This is actually our the nutshell the conclusion. First of all, we have to do tafkir, give them the imagination, give them the thoughts to think on. Then we have to teach them what is the reality of this imagination, right? Like, first of all, we have to give them the imaginations. You have to think about this, that, this. And then we will purify this imagination कि देखो देखो जो तुम सोच रहे हो वो ऐसा नहीं है, वो ऐसा है. ये तालीम होगी. We will actually give them the righteous teachings. And then this is not the end of the game. This is the party, initial of the party. Then on every second, third day, we will recall. The skill mean to recall again and again, again and again, again and again. Whatever they imagine and whatever we taught them, we have to recall it in different forms, in different ways, and while playing, while listening, while eating, whatever we are doing, we can recall them. Next, please. So in this way, we cannot see the candles, enlightened candles in front of them, but we can say the shadow. And seriously, the kids are our shadows. Next, please. Now, hopefully, in very precise time, I'll elaborate. I'll try. Actually, try to elaborate the basic mental capabilities and how can we work on with the belief system. I really wish to have. We can actually might be there are different questions, and on base of this question we can arrange another session, inshallah. So now question goes to, and I just need 1 minute break, please. 1 minute break.
Sure, sure.